students. I welcome all of you once again to the second revision session of lesson number 12, Food for All. Let's recall once again whatever things we have learned in the last lecture. So we learned that there are total 3 seasons which exist in India: summer season, Kharif season and Rabi season. And at the same time we learnt about the types of the irrigation which is commonly used by all the farmer, that is drip irrigation and the sprinkle irrigation. And again, most importantly, we learnt about the improved variety of this seed. These improved variety of this seed, they can attack the pest attack, they can resist the pest attack, and at the same time they give us the maximum crop production. Not only this is required to get the good harvest, but to get the good harvest, most importantly, the fertilizers are also important. If we grow the same crop repeatedly in the same field, then there are the chances that the fertility of the soil, it might get decreased. So to avoid the damage which is caused to the soil, we have to use the fertilizer. So there are basically two type of the fertilizer which is used by the farmer, that is the natural fertilizer and the chemical fertilizer. So what is the basically meaning of the natural fertilizer? So these natural fertilizer are also called as what? Manures. So what is basically manure? How it is produced? Like you must have seen that whatever wet waste we get from the kitchen or we get from the agriculture purpose, let's say for example cow dung or leftover parts of the plant or dead animal or dead plant. So if we put inside the soil, then by the action of the microorganism, they get decomposed. So when these material get decomposed, the fertility of the soil increases, and as a result we get the organic manure, and these organic manure we call them as was compost. So this is how the compost has been produced, and this is this type of the compost, they give us the maximum benefit to grow any type of the crop. Okay, so this is the one of the advantage of using the natural fertilizer. At the same time, not only the natural fertilizer, but again chemical fertilizers are also used by the farmer. So what is the basically chemical fertilizer? These chemical fertilizer are also called as what? Artificial fertilizer. Let me tell you that these chemical fertilizer, they are mixed with different type of the chemicals in the proper proportion which is useful for the agricultural purpose. And why they are used? They are used for the quicker and the higher growth of the crops. So by using this fertilizer, we get the maximum production of the crop. So this is the advantage of using the chemical fertilizer and the natural fertilizer. So let's see what are the uses of the fertilizer. So the first use of the fertilizer is that they restore the productivity of the soil. What do you mean by restores the productivity of the soil? As I just told you, when we grow the same crop repeatedly in the same field, then there are the chances that the nutrition which is present in the soil or the nutrient which are present in the soil, they will get destroyed. Am I right? They will get minimized. So when we use the fertilizer, this fertilizer provides the required nutritive substances to the crops so that the crops can grow faster. But let me tell you, if we compare between the chemical fertilizer and the natural fertilizer, always go for the natural fertilizer over the chemical fertilizer, because there are certain disadvantages of the chemical fertilizer. They have certain side effects as well. So now you must be thinking, what is the side effect or what are the disadvantage of the chemical fertilizer? So let me tell you that, student, if we overuse any type of the chemical fertilizer, then these chemical fertilizer get starting accumulating inside the soil. They go and they restore into the soil, and when this chemical fertilizer accumulate inside the soil, they lowers the fertility of the soil and they lowers the productivity of the soil. So that's why if we get an opportunity to select between the natural fertilizer and the chemical fertilizer, always go for the always go for the natural fertilizer over the chemical fertilizer. Understood? Because as we had seen that there are certain side effects of the chemical fertilizer. Understood? And one more thing, the growing of the crop is not that much important. At the same time, it is important, but at the same time, we have to protect the crops also. Even the protection of the crop is of utmost important, because you know that the diseases and the pest attack, they can damage the crops in the field. As a remedy, the insecticide and the pesticide are spread on the crop, like you are looking at this picture. Okay, so these insecticide and these pesticide, when we spray on the crop, the crops will be protected from the pest attack and the insect attack. So this is how we protect the crops from getting damaged. Okay, and one of the method how we can use protect the crop, that is again there is one more technique, is that we can rub the chemical on this seed before sowing. Even this technique is useful for protection of any type of the crop. And let me tell you student here that storing the harvested crop safely is as important as the increasing production. When the growth of the crop is completed, we have to store it, no? So what are the steps are taken for the storage purpose? Any idea how we can store the crops? So you must have seen that the grains are stored in such type of the sacks in the shops or at home also. You must have seen such kind of sacks of rice and wheat, etc. Am I right? So these grains are dried well under the sun. So when we dry the grains under the sun, the moisture which is present inside the grain, it will be lost, and then safely it is filled in the sack. These sacks, then they are stored in the house or in the warehouses or shop, etc. for selling purpose later on. Understood? And let me tell you here, if we store the grains without taking any type of the precaution, so there are the chances that the store grains might get damaged by the two ways. So what are the ways by which the store grain might get damaged? So the first way how exactly the store grain might get damaged is that you must have seen that mice, rat and insect, they can spoil the grain to a greater extent. So we have to be very careful wherever we are storing the grain. We have to take care of all these mice and rats. We have to keep the sacks away from all these things in order to protect the getting damage. And again, let me tell you that the place where we are storing the grain, it shouldn't be damp or it shouldn't be moist. Otherwise, if the place is damp, if it is moist, then it catches the fungus, and once the fungus grows on the grains, then those grain becomes unfit for eating. So we have to protect the stored grain from this type of the infection. So what we can do to avoid all these things? So you must have seen in the ancient time or right now also, you must have seen your grandparents or your parents, they must be using the neem leaves. Okay, so sometime the neem leaves are mixed with the grain and then it is filled in the sack, so that the fungus attack or the insect attack, it won't cause any type of the damage to the grains. And most of the time, not only the neem leaves, sometime even we use the chemical which is spread at the place of the storage. Okay, so these are the certain ways how we can store the protect the grains from getting damaged. So these are the ways which we learnt just now, how we can store the grains without getting damaged. So what we have learned so far, we learned that the chemicals are mixed with the grains, and again we learned that neem leaves are mixed with the grains. Then these grains are dried under the sunlight properly, they are dried completely, then only it is filled inside the sack. And again we learned that insecticide and pesticide are spread on the crop to avoid the pest attack and the insect attack. Understood student, what we can undertake over here? Okay, so you know that in India, due to the improved method of the cultivation, we now produce plenty amount of the food grain. The production exceeds the demand. We are also able to export the surplus amount of the grain to the other countries. Don't you think this is the good news over here? We are producing more and more quantities of the grain by using the new technology of the agriculture. Understood? So today our country, it is self-reliant as far as the production of the food grain is concerned. The tremendous increase in the food grain production in our country was achieved during the Green Revolution. Now what do you mean by Green Revolution? Green Revolution is that step where the scientist whose name was the Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, his research led to the improvement of the seeds of the wheat and the rice, which resulted in the Green Revolution. Means they focused on the maximum growth of the crop at the higher speed by using the natural components, natural fertilizer, and they educated everybody about it. And that's why today we are able to grow maximum crops, and today we are able to export the grains to the other countries as well. So the credit of the whole Green Revolution goes to the one and only one, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. So who is the father of the Green Revolution? The Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. He told us about the maximum importance of the agricultural grains. Understood? And at the same time, the food security law is important. You must be knowing about the food security law. Once the crop has been grown, the food is the basic need. Am I right? So many countries have made the laws to ensure that every person gets the sufficient food according to their needs. These laws are also called as food security law. In 2013, our country too enacted a food security law. In each year we enacted the food security law? 2013. It has made it possible to fight ills like malnutrition, starvation, and the death due to the hunger. So this law is making sure that each and every individual will get requirement, or they will get fulfill the requirement of the food at the cheapest cost as much as possible. Because we are not here comparing the people, we made the food security law just to fulfill the demand of the food, because food is the basic need of any individual and it has to be supplied to each and every individual. Understood, student, what is exactly food security law? And at the same time here, agricultural assistant program has been undertaken to educate the farmer. Okay, you must be knowing that many of the farmers in our country, they are uneducated. They are not aware about the new technology which are coming up in our country. So that's why agricultural assistant program has been set up to give proper information and guidance about the latest technology, irrigation facility, improved seeds, use of the fertilizer and the pesticides, etc. And by using this type of the program, not only the farmer's whole family is also educated. Even farmers gets the information about the weather forecasting, etc. so that according to the weather forecasting news or rainy season, etc., they can be prepared for their next crop season. Understood? So this is how the organic farming technique is also implemented, and it is also taught to the farmer by this type of the program. So what is exactly organic farming? We all know that. What is organic farming? Just I told you here. So in the organic farming, instead of using the chemical fertilizer, we are relying on the natural component. So here you can see that organic farming, we are basically using the natural material like fruit waste, plant waste, or vegetable waste that we are using instead of chemical fertilizer. So basically, in short, I would say that organic farming, it is more focusing on the natural thing over the chemical thing. Now you must be thinking, what is the advantage of the organic farming? Why right now all farmers have begun to opt for the organic farming method? There must be certain kind of the benefits, no? So what is the benefit? First one, the organic pesticide used in this method have no harmful effect on those who eat the product, because we are eating the food material. Am I right? So most of the time if we use a chemical pesticide, so those chemical pesticide along with the fruits and along with the vegetable, they might enter in our body, and even these chemicals might cause damage to our body. But these organic fertilizer, they don't have any type of the harm effect on our body. And at the same time, let me tell you that the grain grown by this method is nutritious, and it is also good to the taste. It is full of nutrition. So that's why nowadays all the farmer has begin to opt for the organic farming method. Okay, so always remember student, crops should be watered only as much as necessary. This is what we have learnt here in this topic. If we overuse the water, then there are the chances that the soil becomes saline and fallow, and then we won't be able to grow the crops. Okay, and again what we have learnt in this lesson, we have learned that always remember, care should be taken during the use of the chemical fertilizer and the pesticide, because their overuse should be avoided. If we use the chemical fertilizer or pesticide in the maximum quantity, then they might damage to the crop and the soil as well, even our health as well. Okay, so what we have learnt in the lesson number 12, food for all, we learned basically there are certain two main agricultural season which exist in India, that is Kharif season and the Rabi season. What else we learned? We learned about using improved method of the farming leads to the increased production of the crop. And again we learned today, farmer can get the information about modern agricultural technology through the agricultural assistant program. Understood? So here we completed the revision part of lesson number 12, food for all. Bye, take care.